You finally hit the number you were told would fix everything, $100,000 a year. 6 months later, you're asking a different question. Why does it still feel tight? Because the paycheck says 6 figures, but your life says subscription to adulthood. Your rent on a normal 2-bedroom is $2,900, and the renewal offer is only going up $180 a month. Health insurance comes out of your check, but the deductible is still $3,500, so you're basically self-insuring with vibes. Then the grown-up stuff stacks. Daycare is $1,650 a month if you can even get a spot. If you don't have kids, it's the equivalent in other not optional costs. A $540 monthly car payment because used cars are somehow still expensive, plus $210 for insurance because your zip code got re-rated. And somewhere in the middle of all that, you're trying to do the responsible thing. 401k, emergency fund, maybe saving for a down payment, while your bank balance keeps doing that magic trick where it disappears the week before payday. Let's do some uncomfortable math. On 100K after federal taxes, state taxes, and payroll taxes, a lot of people land around $5,800 to $6,300 a month take-home, depending on where you live and benefits. Now, subtract $2,900 rent, subtract $650 for health premiums plus HSA contributions, subtract $1,000 for childcare or the "we need 2 cars to function" tax. You're already staring at maybe $1,400 left for everything else: food, utilities, debt, gas, phones, basic clothes, and oh yeah, any kind of future. Here's what nobody talks about. The middle class used to be a lifestyle you could buy with a salary. Now it's a performance you maintain with cash flow. And the moment one line item spikes, rent renewal, a medical bill, a childcare increase, you start juggling. But here's where it gets dangerous. When 100K feels like survival, you don't just cut spending, you start making identity decisions, delaying kids, avoiding homeownership, staying in a job you hate because the benefits are too good to lose, or taking on side gigs that quietly turn your evenings into a second shift. My name's Ben, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, psychology, and why doing everything right can still leave you feeling behind. Hit like and subscribe. It helps me create more videos like this. Let me show you why this matters. The problem isn't that you're bad with money. It's that the definition of enough moved, and most people didn't notice until they hit 6 figures and still couldn't breathe. You hit $100,000, and instead of relief, you get an email from payroll. Your take-home is $5,620. Not because you're irresponsible, because $1,150 went to taxes, $410 to retirement, $320 to health, dental, and vision, and another $180 to a commuter plan and random benefits you barely remember selecting. Then your mortgage pre-approval comes back, and it's not the win you expected. At today's rates, a $525,000 starter home means a payment around $3,700 a month once you add property tax and insurance, and that's before you fix the roof, replace the water heater, or pay an HOA that somehow costs more than your gym membership. So you do what a lot of people do. You keep renting. But the nice, safe, decent school district 2-bedroom is $3,050 now. And the building wants a $500 move-in fee if you switch units, plus a new security deposit because policy changed. You're not upgrading your lifestyle, you're paying a premium to keep it from sliding. And it's not just housing. You open your student loan portal and the payment is back, $430 a month, even after years of temporary pauses and new repayment plans that basically translate to, "Congrats, you have a bill again." Then your employer quietly changes the 401k match formula, and suddenly you're putting in more just to get the same match you already budgeted around. Here's what nobody talks about. 6 figures used to mean you could absorb normal life without it becoming a finance project. Now, a normal month includes a medical deductible you actually hit, a travel obligation you can't skip, and at least one adult admin cost. Professional licensing, union dues, parking, tolls, equipment, certifications that doesn't feel optional if you want to keep earning. Let me show you why this matters. When your fixed costs eat $4,800 to $5,300 of a $5,620 take-home, you're not budgeting, you're triaging. And the math forces weird choices. You can fund retirement, or you can save for a down payment, or you can pay down debt. Pick two if you're lucky. Pick one if you want to sleep. But here's the thing. The first thing that changes is the timeline. On 100K, we'll buy in 2 years becomes maybe 5, because saving $1,000 a month sounds good until you realize that's $12,000 a year, and the house you wanted got $40,000 more expensive while you were being disciplined. But here's where it gets dangerous. That gap doesn't just create stress, it changes your behavior. You stop making decisions based on what you want and start making decisions based on what won't break the system you've built to survive. My name's Ben, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, psychology, and why doing everything right can still leave you feeling behind. Hit like and subscribe. It helps me create more videos like this. Now, let's do some uncomfortable math on where the money actually goes and why $100,000 isn't the finish line anymore. There's also something fascinating that happens when you're doing fine on paper, but your margin is basically gone. You start optimizing your life around avoiding surprises, not building a better one. Here's a concrete example. You finally get your benefits enrollment email and you pick the safer health plan because you've got a kid and you don't want a big bill. The premium jumps by $240 a month and the family deductible is still $3,500. So even after paying almost $3,000 more per year in premiums, you're still one urgent care plus labs plus a prescription away from paying another few thousand out of pocket. That's not luxury spending. That's paying to reduce volatility. This shift might seem small, but it has ripple effects. It means your emergency fund target quietly doubles. It's not 3 months of expenses anymore because 3 months doesn't cover a medical deductible, a job gap, and a travel to see family emergency in the same year. So you bump the goal from $12,000 to $25,000. And now the timeline for everything else stretches again. Here's what nobody talks about. When you don't have margin, you stop buying things and you start buying predictability. You sign the 12-month internet promo that's $20 cheaper, but it requires auto pay and paperless and a bank draft because a late fee plus a reconnection fee is a mini crisis now. You lock into the budget billing option for utilities because a $310 summer electric bill can't be a surprise anymore. Your calendar starts revolving around billing cycles. Then you get hit with the professional baseline costs that people pretend aren't real. If your job expects you in office 2 or 3 days a week, that's parking, transit, or a longer commute. Say it's $14 a day to park, twice a week. That's about $112 a month, roughly $1,350 a year, just to be physically present. Add a couple of work trips where you float the hotel deposit and meals until reimbursement clears. Suddenly, you're carrying an $1,800 balance for a month. And if you don't have Slack, you're paying interest for the privilege of being employable. But here's where it gets dangerous. Once your system is fragile, you start turning down upside because it threatens stability. You don't switch jobs for a bigger salary because the new probation period resets your PTO and your health coverage timing. You don't take a risk on a better neighborhood rental because moving means first month, last month, and a new deposit all at once. And you can't have your cash pile dip below panic level. Let me show you why this matters. This is how a $100,000 turns into a treadmill. Not because you're irresponsible, but because the modern middle class is paying recurring fees to make life less spiky, and those fees quietly eat the exact money that used to create upward momentum. Here's something that might blow your mind. On a $100,000 salary, a lot of people think they're upper middle until they do the take-home math and realize they're running a $6,200 a month household on a $5,400 a month reality. Let's do some uncomfortable math. Say your gross is $100,000. After federal, state taxes, Social Security and Medicare, and a basic 401k contribution of 6%, it often lands around $5,200 to $5,800 a month, depending on your state and benefits. Call it $5,500. That's the number your life actually has to fit inside. Now stack the fixed costs that didn't used to be this aggressive. Rent for a nothing fancy, safe, decent schools nearby in a lot of metro areas can easily be $2,650. Add renter's insurance at $22, electric and gas at $190 on average, water and trash at $85, and your phone plan at $120. You're at about $3,067 before you've eaten, driven, or saved a dollar. Then you get the costs that exist specifically because you're trying to stay employable and stable. Childcare for one kid can be $1,450 a month for a basic center, not the boutique one. Two kids? You're suddenly staring at $2,700 to $3,000. Even if you're past daycare, after-school care plus summer coverage can average $650 a month when you spread summer camps across the year. Here's what nobody talks about: the adult insurances that quietly replace your raises. Auto insurance jumping to $210 a month, health premiums already coming out of your paycheck, then dental or vision, then an HSA contribution because one urgent care visit can knock you off course. If you put just $300 a month into an HSA and $150 into a house/car fund, that's $450. Responsible, not luxurious. Now zoom out. If your margin is $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year. One job gap, one rent increase, one daycare rate hike, and your entire savings plan disappears. Over a decade, that's the difference between having $36,000 of breathing room versus having zero. And zero is where the interest starts. Practical application. If your landlord raises rent 8%, your $2,650 becomes $2,862. That's $212 more per month, $2,544 a year. If your employer also increases the health premium by $90 a month, you just lost $3,624 a year without buying a single new thing. The contrast is brutal. Person A has a $900 per month margin, so a rent hike is annoying. Person B has a $150 per month margin, so the same rent hike forces a credit card balance, and now you're paying an extra $60 to $140 a month in interest for months just to stay normal. But perhaps the most significant change is this. Once the math gets that tight, your decisions stop being about optimizing your future and start being about preventing one bad month from turning into a bad year. Here's what nobody talks about. The transformation isn't you make more money, it's that you stop treating $100,000 like a lifestyle label and start treating it like a system with weak points, and you reinforce the weak points on purpose. The first thing that changes is you stop getting surprised by annual bills that pretend they're random. You put your car insurance, renters/home insurance, property taxes, and even the once-a-year professional fees into a known hits bucket. If those add up to, say, $7,800 a year, that's $650 a month you prepay to yourself. And suddenly, a $1,950 insurance renewal doesn't land like a crisis, it lands like Tuesday. Second, you stop letting housing make every other decision for you. Not move to the woods, but picking a radius that protects your cash flow. If the nicer neighborhood is $3,200 a month for a basic 3-bedroom and the slightly less hot one is $2,750, that $450 difference isn't just $450. It's $5,400 a year. That's the deductible plus the first month of a job gap. That's the difference between negotiating calmly and panic applying to everything. Third, you get strategic about the two expenses that ambush six-figure households: commuting and convenience. You don't cut lattes. You cut the $210 parking pass, the $18 a day toll route, and the "we'll just do delivery because we're exhausted" habit. If you recover $600 a month from those three, that's $7,200 a year. Real money, not coupon money. But here's where it gets dangerous. Once you see these numbers, you realize a lot of normal middle-class choices are actually financing decisions. Carrying a $4,000 credit card balance at 22% isn't a bad month. It's a second rent payment spread across the year. Pay $120 a month in interest, and you just bought nothing for $1,440 a year. Let me show you why this matters. With even a boring $800 monthly margin, you can say no without your stomach dropping. Your boss asks for an extra project? You can negotiate comp time or pay because you're not terrified of a $400 swing. Your kid's daycare announces a $55 per week increase? Annoying, but not catastrophic. It's $238 a month, and you already have a plan. The confidence shift is specific. You start acting like a household CFO. You check expenses quarterly, You price shop the big three: housing, healthcare, transportation, and you make decisions based on net monthly impact, not vibes. Now, you might be thinking, so the fix is just discipline? No. The elephant in the room is that plenty of these costs are structural. The win is learning how to build margin anyway. And in the next part, I'll show you the exact levers that actually move the needle on a 100K life. If you're hearing this and thinking, cool, but I can't magically create margin on 100K, that's the normal reaction. Because the middle-class crisis isn't that you're irresponsible, it's that the fixed costs got promoted to VIP status and your paycheck didn't. The good news is you don't need a perfect budget. You need 2 or 3 moves that change your monthly baseline. Here's what nobody talks about. The fastest way to feel rich again isn't earning more, it's shrinking the number of bills that can't be negotiated, paused, or replaced. On 100K, the game is reducing mandatory spending, not optimizing the optional stuff. Start with a 60-minute Big 3 audit once this month. Housing, healthcare, transportation. Not to shame yourself, just to get the numbers on one page. Pull your last 2 pay stubs and your last 2 months of statements and label every major expense as either A, contract or locked, B, semi-locked, or C, flexible. The key is identifying what's silently acting like a second mortgage: student loans, childcare, car payment plus insurance, or that temporary storage unit that's been billing you for 14 months. Now do 1 concrete renegotiation and 1 concrete replacement. Renegotiation looks like calling your auto insurance and raising deductibles from $500 to $1,000 and shopping it against 2 competitors. A lot of people see a $35 per month drop. That's $420 a year. Replacement looks like changing the car decision, not the gas decision. If you're at $540 per month on a loan with 48 months left and you can reset to $360 per month even after higher interest, that's $180 per month back into your life. But here's where it gets dangerous. People upgrade the car, the phone plan, the apartment, and the daycare schedule at the same time, then wonder why 100K feels like 60K. Let me show you why this matters. If you can find $25 a day, that's $175 a week. That's about $750 per month. And on a 100K life, $750 per month is the difference between I hope nothing happens and we can handle it. In 1 year, that's $9,000. In 2 years, it's enough to erase a lingering credit card balance and build a real emergency fund. The first step is the hardest because it's awkward and administrative. But once you hit your first $1,500 buffer, just sitting in a separate account, the next milestone comes faster because you stop using credit as a shock absorber. This isn't about becoming extreme. It's about becoming intentional. The difference usually comes down to whether you treat the big costs like fixed destiny or like projects you're allowed to redesign. So there you have it. $100,000 isn't bad money. It's just not automatic stability anymore. The new middle-class crisis is that your biggest bills grew faster than your paycheck, and they're the kind of bills that don't care if your boss loves your work. Most people think the hardest part is earning more. They're wrong. The hardest part is admitting your lifestyle has turned into a subscription bundle you can't cancel. Housing, childcare, healthcare, debt. And then having the nerve to unbundle it on purpose. If you're sitting at 100K and still feel behind, don't panic and don't spiral shop for a solution. Do 1 boring audit this week. List your 5 largest monthly commitments and mark each one as locked, negotiable, or replaceable. Then pick 1 replaceable item and set a 30-day redesign plan. Not save money, redesign, new commute, different childcare split, refinancing timeline, downsizing path, or a job search with a number attached to it. Here's what nobody talks about. The win isn't cutting $40 here and there. It's lowering the minimum income your life requires to function. If your household's keep the lights on number drops by even $600 per month, that's $7,200 a year you stop needing to earn, tax, and defend. Build margin like you're building a second paycheck. Because in 2026, that's what margin is. If this helped you put words and math to what you're feeling, subscribe. More videos like this are coming.